They don't wanna ride along. They done seen it all before. I ain't calling it the force. Yeah. They don't wanna ride long. They just wanna ride up. They done seen it all before. Nothing quite like us. I ain't calling it the force, but I got big trust, so I'm taking my time. We gon' fire this up. They don't wanna ride long. They just wanna ride up. They done seen it all before. Nothing quite like us. I ain't calling it the force, but I got big trust, so I'm taking my time. We gon' fire this up. Whoa, how I do this by my lonely, I don't know. No, maybe I'm Shaq, maybe I'm Kobe, no, it's cold. But that heart be hella frozen, he didn't up. Bad mistake to leave me open, cause I shoot shots so wet. How could you forget? I ain't going nowhere soon. Better learn my full name, psychedelic sidekick. Bitch, you ain't gotta like me. Bet your shorty still creep the gram and then come and find ways to ride me. Whoa. So out of pocket, so out of line, but I'm fine. Know where I'm going, know I'ma get there in time. Learn to manifest, everything feels so right. So right. They don't wanna ride long, they just wanna ride up. They done seen it all before, nothing quite like us. I ain't calling it the force, but I got big trust, so I'm taking my time. We gon' fire this up. They don't wanna ride long, they just wanna ride up. They done seen it all before, nothing quite like us. I ain't calling it the force, but I got big trust, so I'm taking my time. We gon' fire this up. Obi-Wan the way I move, celebrating when I lose. Found a way to have everything that I want, so we gon' ride soon. Take a seat or you can take a loss. Work a beer, you can be the boss. Better find a way, better be away. Gotta rob the bank, gotta get away cash. Need a little more in my bank account like fast. Blow it all quick cause you know this life ain't gon' last. Taking my time, don't be asking me when I'll pass. Puff, whoa. So out of pocket, so out of line, but I'm fine. Know where I'm going, know I'ma get there in time. Learn to manifest, everything feels so right. So right.
We're gonna run one more song for the intro. Sorry, just getting things set up just a little bit more.
Seen it all before, nothing quite like us. I ain't calling it the force, but I got big trust, so I'm taking my time. We gon' fire this up. They don't wanna ride long, they just wanna ride up. They done seen it all before, nothing quite like us. I ain't calling it the force, but I got big trust, so I'm taking my time. We gon' fire this up. 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 We gon' fire this up.
Let's cut the bullshit, got me standing on a cliff in my mind. Fight or flee on my grind, pressure building behind. Will I fall when I leap or take off in this soar? You've been questioning my motive since I walked through the door. I never hesitate, trolls barking in the night, thinking that the word is bond, but it's never right. I'ma be alright, got that special sauce and I know that I'm great. Never fake, run up game and strong, I'm guessing it's fake. Why you spitting that hate? You could have been the greatest ever. You ain't clever, ties get severed, they ain't growing back. Take a seat in the back, foot on the gas, forward motion while I pass you by. Flying higher than the eye can see. No intention of stopping as long as beats keep dropping. Nice enough to keep on chopping it up, not hanging back anymore. You've had time to speak, it's my turn on the floor. Absorb, open up and let me in, no invitation needed. You ain't breaking me down, you ain't holding me up. Do what I can to make sure I'm going pedal to the floor. Watch me soar, no hesitation. You ain't breaking me down, you ain't holding me up. Do what I can to make sure I'm going pedal to the floor. Watch me soar, no hesitation.
I'm
I'm dropping knowledge with no hesitation. There's levels to this, get to step in for the preparation. To people going through the most hell, see heaven's gates. And I've been stuck in hibernation. Gained a couple pounds, funny, all my fans are heavy waiting for me to drop that. For me to go pop rap, for me to get them radio singles up on the soundtrack. Split a deal, lose my master's tour through the outback. See all the world has to offer me before I bounce back. I fake a money phone, pretend like I ain't never count that. Rake up honeycombs with Queen Bee, blowing loud packs. Have a fake assistant that tells my mom that I'm busy while I hesitate to follow through, copping out to the city. Downplay what I mean to folks, all my thoughts have been shitty. Hesitant more than ever, played on my cards against me. My relevance has been up, but my mental state has been down. I've been worrying more than ever about who's trying to take the crown. Don't you hesitate.
You ain't breaking me down, you ain't holding me up. Do what I can to make sure I'm going pedal to the floor. Watch me soar, no hesitation. You ain't breaking me down, you ain't holding me up. Do what I can to make sure I'm going pedal to the floor. Watch me soar, no hesitation. Boot to the chest, baby boy, kicking it with the big girls. Bent knees, eye to sky and praying. Man is posing powered and we're biting back. Permission, I'm not needing that. Don't apologize for being bad, ma, this is second act. Curtains for anyone that's thinking that we the weaker sex. Flexing as we enter the arena, no complex. Stay based on the principle, these haters stay needing us. Never backing down, these players keep conceding us. Get on your big boy pants, pull up your bootstraps. Tongues loaded, drop the hammer, breathe and don't look back. Pepper the city with bullshit that's bad seasoning. He said I do this cause I love you, that's bad reasoning. And another thing, insensitivity's insulting. Tough talk is revolting, I'm blitz blazing, gun smoking, bowled over. Knocked out just to get back up, I got yeast still rising. I'm half baked, but you ain't surviving. You ain't breaking me down, you ain't holding me up. Do what I can to make sure I'm going pedal to the floor. Watch me soar, no hesitation. You ain't breaking me down, you ain't holding me up. Do what I can to make sure I'm going pedal to the floor. Watch me soar, no hesitation.
One moment, please. And we are on in 3, 2, 1. Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? I slicked my hair back for one of the first times ever. No hat. Probably looking weird, but my name is Gunner B. How are y'all doing on this rainy, fucking gloomy Tuesday? Holy crap. Do I have a story for you guys, what I woke up to from my nap? First off, shout out Nice Enough Entertainment. My name is Gunner B. We are live right now on the Nice Network. Today's guest, actually, let's start with what the previous song was. I wasn't able to tag it because I didn't know I was going to play two songs for the intro. That was Hesitation by Modest K, featuring Jay Influential. Shout out to Modest K. She's a super dope artist, part of the... Obviously, if you're tuning in, most of you guys know, but for some of you guys, she's a super dope artist, part of the Nice Enough Entertainment group, along with Jay Influential. Shout out Nice Enough. Other than that, man, fuck, I had to run and grab my cigarettes. So I woke up to one of the hardest rain I've ever heard in my life, personally. Like, it was downpouring. When I say downpouring, I've never seen rain like this in my freaking life, right? But I wake up and it's like I hear water leaking. And I'm like, what the hell is that, right? And then I look to my window and I literally see water falling out from my window because the gutter was all messed up. So it was leaking into my window and I stepped down. My foot was at least in like an inch of water. Good afternoon to you guys. How are you doing? Oh, goodness. But other than that, I mean, I guess today, the day is what you make it. And I will try to stay positive for the rest of the day. Absolutely. Shout out to my landlord for being like, he went out there in the pouring rain, suited up, and he fixed the... Dude, I'm telling you guys, I've never seen rain like this before in my life. He went out there all suited up, booted up. Shout out to you, John. Yeah. Anyway, other than that, how are you guys doing today? I guess I'm doing okay. I think. I don't know. As I said, life kind of is what you make it. I want to talk to everybody quick about some things. Make sure you're taking care of yourself during some of these hard and difficult times. I understand life probably isn't easy for a lot of people right now, but all I want to say to that is do not stand up to do not stand for blatant racism. If somebody's coming at you racistly, like don't have time for that person. Like don't entertain that person or nothing like that. Like I heard Strawstone kind of talking about this in his last interview. We're kind of caught in a rock between a hard place. Like do we call these people out and post all their shit on Facebook, and do we call these people out, or do we just kind of let them be and not have time for that? But it's like these people need to learn that what the stuff they're saying is not cool. Like people making memes of George Floyd and people making memes about the situation, just in my personal humble opinion, that is not the right thing to do. And I trust me, I understand dark humor. Like I get dark humor, but we have to be careful with certain things that we're doing and saying to make light of certain situations. But if you see somebody acting a fool, saying stupid ass shit, like I don't give a fuck. Go ahead and call them out. But I'm trying to make myself be the most positive person I can be. And sharing stuff like that on my Facebook, I feel like it enrages people. Because when I see stuff like that, it enrages me personally. You know what I mean? And I try to keep that away from my timeline. I try to keep the enragement and the anger and those kind of hate-filled emotions away. Like earlier, I posted some stuff that like I wasn't really comfortable with afterwards after having a conversation about. But enough about me. Let me know in the comments how you guys are doing today. If you haven't yet, go ahead, give this a share. Go ahead, give this a like. I'm gonna tell you a little bit about my guest that I have coming on today. His name is, I'm gonna probably have to fix that. His name is Day Peace. He's from originally from Detroit, but he lives in small town Iowa now. But this guy is a super hilarious, super dope, super real comedian. I'm gonna be playing with my hair the whole time. Dude, did I really want to do this? I don't even know. Let's see. We got a little. Oh, we got a little something right there. But like, yeah, he's a super dope comedian, super smart, super funny, and I'm trying to get rid of that hair right there. Super funny, like. From what I've talked, he's really chill. From what I've seen, he's very firm on where he stands, and he's very for peace and love and harmony and unity. So that's why I seriously fuck with this guy on a lot of levels. But before we get started, we're gonna go ahead play another track for you guys. I'm gonna kind of get things a little bit more set up. Let's see, what does good old Gunner B have to play for you guys? I don't know what I'm gonna play. I really don't. You know what? We could play something that's off my upcoming album, actually. Unreleased. I've played this once or twice, but yeah, this one's called Play the Game. This is going to be the last track off my upcoming album, Full Circle. Thank you for everybody tuning in. If you have not yet, go ahead, give this a share. Go ahead, hit them heart reacts. Leave me a comment. Go ahead, comment anything. I know I'm not Strawstone. Some of y'all are used to seeing the Strawstones on here, or Smoke Break. But for those of you who are new to me, my name is Gunner B. I am part of the the Nice Network. I run the Going Full Circle podcast. Thank you for tuning in. But right now we're going to play one of my unreleased tracks. This song's called Play the Game. Oh. 1 second. Got to turn this on. After this, we'll be giving Day Peace a call. So go ahead, share, let them know, hey, we're about to get Day Peace on here. We're about to get some laughs in here. So go ahead, give this a share, give this a heart react, drop a comment for me. I think you understand. There's no way that you possibly could. I'll try to explain it though, best that I can.
Time and again. I'm feeling again. Being the top of the stature to win. I just been slacking and talking to friends. I just been taking my time out to write. I just been cruising and taking a flight. And it go like that. Ain't nobody ever wanna take it back and nah. And they was praying, never ever really listen to a word they saying. And I slayed that beast. Got my knife and a fork I feast. Lost my soul so I'm slaying beats. Never forget that I came from streets. Too many people be trying to leech. Cause I give it all I got and I'm about to reach the motherfucking top now. Get the feeling in me so down. I'm living low. Busting it, living it, fucking it up for the night. Feeling right, gonna ride, yup. You better believe me. I'm meaning every single word that I said. No, you don't wanna be me. Cause I'ma play the game until I'm dead. Until I'm dead. Until I'm dead. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I play the game till I'm dead. Until I'm dead. Until I'm dead. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I play the game till I'm dead. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I play the game till I'm dead. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I play the game till I'm dead. Part of me already feeling my artery jumping and pumping the way that it ought to be, shaking and taking the feeling right out of me. Fact I was losing that don't really bother me, but now I find a little bit of energy and peace of mind. Something I was searching for the whole damn time, but I'm about to climb and I'ma break that bind. Still feeling lost in the meaning of curse. I just been living this feeling since birth. Make all around me have a better life, cause I can't do it for myself. I fight all of the bull and the meaning of lies. I just been trying to break all the ties. You asking questions and wondering why, while I've been leaving and up on the rise. Still it hurts to be this way, and there ain't really much I gotta say, except for this, only wish that I could find a happiness. So I sit, dying with the only feeling I never miss. You better believe me. I'm meaning every single word that I said. No, you don't wanna be me. Cause I'ma play the game until I'm dead. Until I'm dead. Until I'm dead. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I play the game till I'm dead. Until I'm dead. Until I'm dead. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I play the game till I'm dead. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I play the game till I'm dead.
Give a like, give a share. We got Day Piece coming up here in a second.
You better believe me. I'm meaning every single word that I said. No, you don't wanna be me. Cause I'ma play the game until I'm dead. Until I'm dead. Until I'm dead. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I play the game till I'm dead. Until I'm dead. Until I'm dead. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I play the game till I'm dead.
All right, so that was the final track off of my upcoming album, Full Circle. Make sure if you're tuning in, go ahead. Like when I say smash some heart reacts, I mean just go. You see how quick that's jackhammering? Go ahead, smash the motherfucking things. And when I say give a share, go ahead, share it to your timeline, share it to some groups that you have, share it to your friends. Say, hey, my buddy, we're trying to lighten the mood here during dark times. So let's go ahead. Without further ado, let's go ahead and give the one, the only Day Piece a call. Yo.
My buddy.
Yeah. I can hear myself in the background there a little bit.
So let's go ahead.
I know you were ready for me.
It's all good, bro. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I'm just fixing some volume, some level here. You want to go and tell the people what's up? Tell them your name. Who are you?
Oh, we're already on. I love it, baby. We just jump right into
Yeah,
this. Bitch.
yeah.
Okay.
Tell them what's up.
I was feeling that goddamn track real
Oh,
quick.
thank
That
you.
was like that's you can smash today. You can turn up. I like what you're doing with that one.
Thank you, bro.
What's the name of it?
That one's called "Play the Game."
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of about no, it seems I always put myself in bad situations. You know what I mean? And here's the thing: they're not situations that I'm not used to. So it's kind of like a game that I consistently play with myself. That like people see me as a happy-go-lucky person. And they're like, sometimes I want to be you, and it's like, you don't want to be me. You don't want to be me. But then again, I probably don't want to be you again. You know what I mean? It's like we all have our own problems and shit. And how are we sounding in the comments? Go ahead, smash some heart reacts. Give me a comment. First off, I want to look at that smile, man. You're definitely a happy person. I'm glad I got you on here already. But let's go ahead and talk.
I'm having a good day. I'm having a better day than you are.
Yeah, I talked to you about. We'll leave some of the stuff out that happened earlier. You know what I mean? But yeah, waking up to my room once again flooded. That was an experience within itself. My friend kind of made a good point. He was like, it's kind of like Jumanji, huh? And I thought about it, and it kind of was seeing a waterfall come out my freaking window, but. Anyway, man, the people are curious. I'm curious, bro, because we've never even really spoke too much before. We comment on each other's stuff, I've shot you a couple messages and stuff. I kind of wanted to keep it so we got to know each other like on the podcast because I feel that's more real, it's more authentic. You know what I mean? So who are you, Day Peace? Like, I don't even know your real name. Like, what do you represent? This is real talk. I don't even know your real name. Like, who do you represent? Who is Day Peace not only as a comedian like that he portrays on stage, but who are you also as a person?
Okay. First of all, you trying to get me messed up. I don't put my government name out there. I got in 12 states right now.
No, we're gonna keep it to Day then. We're just gonna call you Day.
Yeah, Day or Day. Like, that's what, they're looking for me, bro. Nah, man. To be honest with you, so I've been doing comedy for 9 years. Okay. Originally born and raised in Detroit, Michigan. I'm 35, and I'm at the point now where really the comedy, like the who I am off stage and who I am on stage, is now kind of blended together. Hey. I feel like when life happens to you, which, some things you can control, some things you can't, but like a lot of my material, what I like to talk about, it's shit that I know. So, yeah. Being a father, being married, my wife is white. So being in an interracial relationship, living in a goddamn small town,
Iowa.
I am convinced this is where they filmed the movie Get Out. Like, that's how it is about that. So, no, who I am and like who I am on stage is somebody that definitely wants to entertain and do my job. But off stage, I'm just a man that wants to, be a great father and a great husband to my wife, and ultimately just be the best version of myself. I feel like, I believe in karma. I believe in like energy, and the energy you put out in the universe, comes back full force, or you always want to try to pay it forward. Yeah. So something great comes your way. You are blessed with a situation or whatever that is. You want to make sure you give. So that's what I would say.
Wow, bro. Like, I don't know. You already give off this vibe, this aura of like very positive, peaceful, might I say, person. Have you always have you kind of always tried to be that way, or did you start out in your youth as a little more buck wild than most?
I definitely wasn't buck wild, okay. but hell no. Like, I definitely didn't have this sense of tranquility that I feel like I'm walking with right now. Yeah. And a lot of that just comes from, just getting older. Like, I'm one of those people that I love getting older. Like, I can't wait till I'm 40, 50, 60. I don't need to see 90. Like, that would be too much. Like, I don't need to be like 86 and I can't walk to the car. Like, I don't need that. But I'm one of those people that believe, like, the older you get, the more experience you get, the better you get in touch with yourself. So that's where all of this come from. Being 35, I feel like my 5 years of my 30s is better than my entire 20s put together. And I'm just much more like my perspective on things is just changed. Like what's important, what's not important, what to spend energy on, what not to spend energy on. You were kind of talking about that a little bit at the beginning of the podcast, just kind of talking about, when you see all this shit that you're seeing, how to react to it, how to respond, should you respond? And sometimes it is worth it. Sometimes you got to be like, hey, no.
Yeah. Like there's certain motherfuckers that I've called out, you know what I mean? And it's like, nah, that shit ain't gonna fly. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but again, sometimes you got to know when to hit the unfriend button, when to hit the block button, when to just get off of social media.
Yeah.
Like sometimes we as people we become so like we rely on that device so much. Where we gotta realize
might I say, keep relying on that device for about another hour. Then take a break. You know what I mean? Stay tuned.
I like it. I love that. It's like, no, definitely when we talk, I'll share this. Y'all y'all do all it. Hit comments. Let me know. All that.
For sure.
I got you.
But yeah, keep going. I think we're hitting a good point with that.
Yeah, no, I feel like for me specifically, I like I said, it probably has a lot to do with just becoming a father. And like I said, when I got into my 30s, that's when, again, I started to look at things just a lot differently. So, no, I was never like when I was a kid, like I don't know, I was just moving. I just like like when kids like, hey, stop doing it. What you doing? Like I was just trying to do things. And I got two boys now. I got a 7-year-old and I got a 2-year-old. They just always.
Now you see it from the other perspective.
So like I said, when you get older, you start to have responsibilities, things like that. Yeah. That's when you just start to like put in, like this is important, this is not. So that's when I started to realize, hey, let me just kind of, be the change that you want to see in the world. Like, let me just put out a better, better energy so that hopefully it can be received. And that has a lot to do with, honestly, coming into this crazy year and recording my first album, which is it's titled Peace of Mind.
Yes.
And that just had a lot to do with like my interpretation of it and how can I kind of put out a product that would resonate with people.
Well, shit, do you mind if we roll into the first track of that?
Just roll on.
Go ahead, because I didn't. I'm sorry, I was in such a rush. I didn't do my homework. I still only got the track numbers, bro. So, what's the title of track one?
So track one is actually the first single. So I put a couple of singles out. So however you stream music, I put 6 tracks out from the album, and this is the first track, the first thing that you hear me say when I get on stage, and it's called "Drawing on Eyebrows." Oh, okay.
All right, we'll check it out then. This is stand-up comedian Day Peace, drawing on eyebrows. Drawing on eyebrows. All right. We'll be muted, but you'll be able to hear it in the background.
Oh, thank you. We in this bitch. This is great. This place so fancy. I went to the bathroom and a white man tipped me $2. Thank you, sir. I'm not a bathroom attendant, but I'm keeping your shit. And that was before they goddamn flooded. What the fuck is happening right now? Bathroom going, this place is so nice. Everything is fucked up except for the bathroom and this goddamn curtain. I don't know why this is like some shit you get from the Applebee's napkin or some shit like this. This is, you in a fancy place where you don't know what to steal first in this bitch. That's where I'm at in life. Like, I can use me a stool or some shit. These stage lights will look nice in my grandmother's basement. So, hey, let's get right into it, y'all. Where are the ladies that draw on their eyebrows but can't not color inside the lines? Where y'all at? You better stop that shit, okay? Y'all, the problem is you want to draw on your face, you got to know how to draw. That's the thing, okay? Like, some of y'all walking around looking like you got 2 caterpillars fighting on your forehead. That shit ain't cute. Problem is, and I'm gonna do this as a public service announcement. Ladies, you don't want to hear this, but here's the truth. Men don't give a fuck about your makeup, okay? We just don't care. Not even a little bit. There's never been a man in the history of vagina that was like, you know what? I can't get down with you because you've never been to Sephora. It's never fucking happened. It never happened. Ladies, you got too much on your mind in the first place. Y'all be in the fucking mirror doing all your shit, trying to draw it on. You got too much on your mind. You're thinking about Beth at work who act like the manager, but the bitch only been there 3 years. Like, that shit. Think about your relationship. You thinking about all this other shit. You going through your baby boy syndrome and your hustle and flow. I don't know if he love me, Jody. I'm in charge, D. Go through all your shit trying to scribble and shit. Meanwhile, look like Michael J. Fox enjoying your shit. That's not. Walk around with that scribble shit. That ain't. You're better than that. That's what I'm saying.
Dude, I really dig that, bro. Like, I don't know, like, what is there people you've drawn inspiration from your comedy style with? Like, you really try to, like, you see them on stage and you're like, yeah, that's what, not necessarily want to be like, but you try to model yourself after.
Yes and no. I think when you first start off anything, especially comedy, like you see people and you want to emulate that, and that's kind of your version of, you know, paying respect. So in the early years, absolutely, Dave Chappelle and Kevin Hart were probably my greatest inspirations. They were like, I want to do that, to the point where I started to copy and, you know, imitate their mannerisms, sort of their cadence, you know, when it came to certain jokes and delivery. And that's not what you want to do. Like, you don't want to do that. You want to be able to see them from afar, study them, respect and understand the art form, and then sort of basically find your own voice. Figure out how you want to deliver your material and what you want to talk about.
It's like making music.
At this point now, yeah. I mean, at this point now, there are so many people that I might respect, and you know, I think like Richard Pryor for me is the greatest of all time. But you know, I enjoy so many different styles of comedy, where it's not just you know, a certain class or generation. It's just people who put the work in, who have been very successful. But there's a lot of, you know, people that, you know, like Patrice O'Neal never really got to that next level. Bernie Mac, who started it really late in his career, passed away before I think he really was going to do something, you know, even greater than what he had already, you know, contributed to comedy. So I definitely pay a lot of respect to a lot of comics. But for me personally, where I'm at right now is I'm just trying to be the best Day, you know, on stage. Like, I'm just trying to be a good me, so that I can deliver that for the audience.
When did you figure out you wanted to start doing stand-up comedy? Because that doesn't see. I'm gonna be real with you. That's not something you necessarily hear from people when they're younger. Like, you know what I mean? That when they're younger, they want to be a firefighter, or they want to go to the moon, or you never be like, hey, Day, what do you want to be when you grow up? I want to make motherfuckers laugh. No, I don't really think you hear that.
I like your version of my voice.
my bad.
No, it reminds me of the Jay-Z and Linkin Park collaboration.
Dude,
like,
you don't even know, bro. Me and my friend actually used to imitate that. Yeah.
That's what's up. No, honestly. Well, first of all, no. When growing up, you know, I grew up in the west side of Detroit, and I meet people that you know, like, I just met somebody like 2 days ago. It was like, I'm from Detroit too.
It's crazy. The last person I just interviewed actually lives in Detroit.
That's what's up. What I was going to say is, I meet people and they don't be from Detroit. They be from like outskirts Detroit, and I understand why they say that, but like, I think it's okay to be like, I'm from Dearborn, I'm from Southfield, Michigan. Like, nobody's going to be stab you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all right. No, we're growing up, I think a lot of people had, you know, sort of dreams, but nobody looked at them as being realistic. I remember being in school and like first, second grade, and our teacher would be like, you know, what do you want to be when you grow up? And sometimes people would, you know, say president of the United States, and that was a concept so far, you know, this is like, you know, the early 90s. That was a concept so far from people's thought of really, like, there could be a black person running this country. So to answer your question, It wasn't until probably a couple of years ago where I really felt this was something that I truly wanted to do, and that's when it really started to manifest from really just being a hobby to being, sort of a job, and now it's a career. It's the only way that I make any form of income, and so COVID-19 hasn't been the greatest, but the fact that I've had this album that I just recorded and just put out, that's sort of been keeping me afloat. So yeah. So no. As far as like the first time I tried it, I just really wanted to get on stage, and because I had talked about it, and when you grow up, like I said, you have these dreams, and I remember seeing Eddie Murphy Martin Lawrence is probably he has probably the biggest credit to me actually being a comedian. I admire his work enormously, and especially seeing him for the first time. I saw his HBO comedy special, You So Crazy, and I was like, and honestly, like as a whatever age I was, like he was talking about things that like when I listen to him now, I'm like, I can't believe my mom listened to this type of shit. But the idea that you can bring that type of joy and thought-provoking energy and fun to grown-ups and do it for a living, I think that's just a dream. So I tried it out, I did it, I played with it for a long time as far as comedy, but it didn't become serious until I really got.
Do you remember your first stand-up performance?
Oh, absolutely.
How was it? Where was it at?
It wasn't horrible, but it wasn't great. I got a podcast myself. It's a solo podcast where it's called Peace Talk Podcast, and I talk about it. The the episode is called "Fuck North Dakota." The reason why it's called that is because the first time I ever got on stage, the first things I ever uttered on stage was, I had a friend, I was in Minnesota at the time, and he was like, you know what you should say, Day Day, when you get on stage? You should say, anybody from North Dakota, and then say, fuck North Dakota. So, no reason at all, G. I get on stage, they call my name, it's a 3-minute, I was at Acme Comedy Club, which is like a top 10 comedy club in the country. And the first thing I do is, hey, is anybody from North Dakota? There were people from North Dakota. There were people wooing, and the next thing I said was, fuck North Dakota, and everybody just shut down. It was like, whoa, okay, angry black man, what is he going to talk about now? And I remember going through what I was going to do, and I had a closer about reverse racism, like when I get rich, I'm going to buy white people and have y'all mow my lawns and stuff like that. And they kind of laughed, and then I got off stage and I left, and I felt like Eminem 8 I just felt like I didn't seize my opportunity. But it took me a whole year. It took me a whole year before I got back on stage.
That's kind of what I was going to ask. So it was like, when you it's usually when somebody gets on stage for the first time, that's in my opinion, that's a make or break deal for a lot of artists in anything. If you don't, so you apparently felt like, yeah, this is something I want to continue doing, even though I didn't have the best result from my first attempt. Correct?
Yeah, I think when you have something that you truly want to do, no matter what it is, you have to keep trying. And I think sometimes when people see that first failure, and I think that's what fucks with people the most is fear. Like I can't do this, I can't overcome this. When you keep pushing past, that's where perseverance comes from. So yeah, if you can, fail and keep trying, I think that's what leads you down the path of, is this something I truly want to do? So yeah, it took me a while to get back on stage. And even then I didn't pursue comedy until I moved out to Arizona. So it took me a couple of years before I even wanted to be a comic. And like I said, those first couple of years, I'm just on stage doing what I see on TV and Comedy Central and Netflix. And then I started to become like my own comic, and that takes years. And now I like where I'm at.
I don't know, I'm trying to dig deep here, man. Do you remember that moment where you were like, all right, I need to develop my own style now. Like I've got the gist of what it takes. Now I think I'm gonna start branding myself. It's branding, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely. I don't know if I can remember that exact moment, but I remember the time frame. It was so I've been doing, like I said, I've been doing comedy for 9 years. The first 2 years were really just like getting on stage and saying stuff that's funny, you know, and that works. You know, don't get me wrong, but there was no substance. So I wasn't essentially talking about anything. I just get on stage saying shit that I thought people would want to hear, and they laughed at. Yeah. That was great. Year 3 was really probably the turning point where I wanted to get on stage, but I wanted to have something to talk about.
Well, can you give me around what time? What year was this? Year 3, you say?
So I started doing comedy in 2011. So by 2013 is when I felt like I started to make that shift. I had my first son in 2012, and so that's when I wanted to talk about it. You know, so you have a fucking baby, and you're like, it's an alien. Like, you want to start talking about your everyday, and that was really the shift. So year 3 for me is when I started like going home and like taking what I was experiencing at home on stage.
Okay, so is it cool if we roll into the next track? All right.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna ask every single time. It's just kind of tradition, bruh. So, track 4.
Track 4 is the longest of the tracks that you have, and this was this. So the best thing about the album for me is it's very personal. It's funny, but it's very personal. I feel the most vulnerable than I've ever have on stage, and this is me making light of a situation that was like a really small accomplishment. In the album, I talk about things that, you know, like what peace of mind means to me. And one of them is celebrating small victories. And I hit 5,000 friends on Facebook. I was maxed out. I thought I was something. And that's what the track is called, 5,000 friends on Facebook.
So this is 5,000 friends on Facebook by stand-up comedian Day-Piece. We're going to get this rolling here.
Very excited to be here. I got a lot of things to get off my spirit. First of all, I gotta say this. The name of this whole thing is called Peace of Mind. And it came like kind of weird. I put it out on Facebook, and then people gave me like suggestions because I was trying to come up with like my next comedy tour, my next run of shows. And we came out with Peace of Mind. I had to start thinking about like what that means to me. Like, what is peace of mind? How do we obtain it? So before the end of the night, I have 5 points that I would like to share with y'all. These are just things that I am committed to, not only 2020, but just going forward. And I think peace of mind is super important. I want everybody to hopefully get that before y'all leave. So that's what this is all about. So I appreciate y'all for coming out and being a part of this very epic night. So give yourself a round of applause one time. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna have some fun. Point number 1 is you got to celebrate small victories. Yes. Hey, like, amen. I like it. That's good. You go to church with me. I like it. That's great. We gotta celebrate. Like, here's the thing. It's like some people like a big person can like lose 3 pounds, and you're like, some people like, congratulations, great job. And then it'll be like that one person, that fucking hater, that's like, that's all you're gonna lose. Like, how you lose it? Running to KFC, eating one of those donut chicken sandwiches. Is that what you're doing? I tried the sandwich. If I can be honest with you, if KFC sponsored this shit, it's delicious. It's delicious. If they don't sponsor it, I'm gonna keep calling it a cum burger. I'm gonna call it that. Small victories, you gotta celebrate. And one of my small victories is I reached 5,000 friends on Facebook. Small victory. Thank you. Do you know what happens when you reach 5,000 friends on Facebook? That's it. Like they decide that's all the friends you can have in life. Like, you just fucking get cut off like you're at the bar. It's weird. Which is kind of counterproductive because they always suggest to me 18 friends I don't want to be friends with. Like, I want to be friends with CEOs and sponsors and people like that. They want to like suggest people that work at like Family Video part-time. I'm like, no, that's stupid. Like, it's 2020. If you work at a video store, kill yourself 4 times. Just stop it. I don't know, like I was excited when I reached that milestone, and the first thing that I did was go through all of my friends list and start deleting people. Delete. Like, I went through certain people, though. It's not everybody you don't have to be friends with on social media. I went through the person that has like all those ambiguous posts, like, oh my God, I can't believe this happened to me. We waiting, nigga, what happened? You gotta scroll through, it's like 32 comments later. What happened? What's up? I got a speeding ticket. Like, you could have hurried up and posted that shit. Nigga, kill yourself 3 times. Delete, delete, delete. I went through like that couple that are so in love, and then they break up, and then they get back together. Drives me crazy. We're so in love. I love him. He loves me. We're going to make it work. That nigga cheated on me. I don't know what to do, Jesus. This is great. Jesus says forgive. We're going to try it out. We got to do it for the kids. We got to do it for the kids. Delete, delete, delete. And then I came across this one young lady. We hadn't had any correspondence for like 8 years. So I going through and trying to figure out what's going on, what's really like the situation. And then I found out she passed away 8 years ago. I was like, delete, 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 okay? Can't be wasting these memes on your dead ass. I gotta get these likes and trees up.
That was 5,000 Friends on Facebook by Dave Peace. Big accomplishment there, man. Proud of you.
It was a big deal at the time.
So with that, I'm pretty sure we've hit that delete button quite a bit these past few this past week or so. So I'm pretty sure that 5,000 is down a little bit now, isn't it?
It is down so much. Actually, since recording it, I just went through a first self, evaluation where I was just looking at who I had on my, and I joke about it, but I literally was going through like who I don't need to be friends with. I would say within the last, couple of weeks, that's when I really just was like, I don't care, grandma, you got to go. Like, I don't care who you is. I feel like again, you got to keep the people around you that needs to be in your circle that generates, great vibes, and we have that need to like keep people that we just. I was friends with this person since 2007. Like, fuck that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Clean your aura.
Yeah, some people who I've known for a very long time, that I like, if I saw them in a bad situation, I'd help them out. But it's just like your opinions and your state of mind. Like, I'm praying for you, dog. Like hopefully it changes, People I'm talking, like, I've known my whole life. My whole life, and it's just like, whoa, there's nothing more I can say about that. But we're gonna kind of lighten up the mood just a little bit here, Dede, if that's cool with you. Here at the Going Full Circle podcast, I don't know if you've noticed this yet, but we like to ask the real hard hitting questions. You know what I mean, like the stuff that really like cracks open the cranium of our guests. Like, I don't want you to be scared. We're not gonna hurt you, but like, really, just like digs. We dig for the truth, man. We dig for how our guests on this podcast really think. You know what I mean? And when I say we ask those questions, I of course mean I ask those questions. So I know nobody in the comments has asked anything yet, but I know the way that usually our fans usually think and feel. So they peace, man. The people want it. No, let me rephrase that. The people don't want to know this. All right, the people need to know. What's your favorite food and your favorite color? Dude, I'm telling you, man, you may be able to answer your favorite color like that, but I'm telling you, it's going to take time for that favorite food. Okay, let me rephrase that, because this seems that. Let me rephrase that. All right, that seems to be a favorite food is a little bit more of a wide question. Your death row meal, your last meal that you're going to consume before you get injected or you get buzzed or whatever the fuck.
Yeah. I gotta go with vagina for 300. If I can get one last kill, bring her in. I don't care if she's like overweight, if she's super skinny, if it's cut, if it's like the buzzed up. I don't give a shit. Let me just go out and I'll floss with I don't care.
Oh no.
But that'd be great.
Your last words, they're like, any last words? Be like, that pussy was good.
Yeah, I'd be like, bring on the chair. Yeah, I'm ready. Last food for real. I don't. You know what? Here's the weird thing. Like, I feel like I be watching movies, and they get their last meal, and it just be what they have available in like the kitchen. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't want that. I would want like a very like what I would want like the all you can eat fucking salad and soup from Olive Garden. Like I would do that way, or endless shrimp. That way they ain't never gonna kill me.
I'd be like, I ain't done yet. I ain't done yet.
I'll just keep going.
More breadsticks.
Yeah, that's what I want.
More
more
breadsticks, please.
Please, yes.
But what's your favorite color then?
It's weird. I guess it's not weird, but it's black, and it's been black for like the longest. Like my first ever favorite color was the color red. I remember being like a little boy, and I just thought red was dope. But like my brother was in a gang, and like that's why I liked red. Like he was a blood, and I didn't realize it. So I was like, you know what? I don't think I should be a fan of this color anymore. So I started to associate all colors with like gangs. So I didn't really have another favorite color until like I was in high school. But black, I think black is just a beautiful, universal. Even though it's an abstract of color, I just that hands that. What about you? What's your favorite color?
I'm all about that green. That's 100%, man. Money.
The way you said that, like it can be interpreted so different.
There's any way you want to interpret it. I'm probably about it. For real. For real. 100%. Yeah, man. Like I don't know. This just I feel like that's a very ambitious color also. You know what I mean? Like anything that color has to do with it assumes with growth or hustling. That's just what it is, you know what I mean? Whether it be money, whether it be nature, you know what I mean? So, yeah, 100%.
I agree.
Hey, what up, Austin? Shout out to A-Hop. This dude's from Colorado. He's a very, very talented artist. I might end up playing his song for the outro. Very cool guy.
Any other questions?
Yeah, bro. Actually, before we.
I don't know if anybody like
Throw me some questions. Anything random you want to ask? Anything.
But you got to answer.
Oh, me?
So,
I don't know.
Whoever drops the question, it's got to be something that.
Let's give him a little bit of time. Then is it cool if we roll in the next track we got?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Track 6.
The Farmer's Wave. So live in a small town, Iowa. The track explains itself, but this was actually one of my favorite tracks on the album. It's a very almost like commercial. Like this would be like if it was like a studio behind it, they would be like, this is going to be the lead single. It's a really funny. It's a quick one, but it's one of my favorite tracks. Right. So it's called Farmer's Wave
by Day Peace. All right, make sure if you got it, just throw any question you want out there to the homie, and we're both gonna answer it apparently. So if you have any questions for me as well, go ahead. We're gonna get this rolling though. Farmer's Wave. Okay, the wave. All right, here we go. Oh, lightning just hit. Hopefully my freaking internet doesn't go out. Let's get this rolling.
I'm gonna share something that I consider one of my biggest failures in life. And actually, I think we should stop saying failure, like as a word. Like it's a lesson. You know what I mean? When I first moved back here to Iowa, which I'm not happy about still. I live in a small town called Lake Mills, Iowa. Which don't stop that. That's no, it's like it's 2 hours from Minneapolis, it's 2 hours from Des Moines, and like around the corner from where your dreams die. Like that's where my wife is from there, and here's what I noticed about like living in a small town: random complete strangers wave at you. It's like the weirdest shit. It's the weirdest shit. I'm originally from Detroit, Michigan. When they did that the first time, I thought they was throwing up gang signs. I almost shot somebody. Like random, complete strangers wave. Like if I'm driving and they're driving, they wave at you. If I'm walking and they're driving, they wave at you. Like if they don't think I saw them, they circle around the block and come back, hey black person, I see you. And 90% of their waves, they have something called the farmer's wave, which their hand is on the steering wheel. They take these little two bunny ear shit, like a Native American, how? I'm like, is he showing me the shocker? What the fuck is that? You go home and give your wife the farmer's wife. This is the farmer's wave, baby. Shut the fuck up, this is the farmer's wave. And it's 2020. I hate to believe like it has anything to do with the color of my skin, but like when I am walking and they are walking, they will not fucking talk to you. And think I'm lying. Me and my wife walked to the gas station the other day. She didn't say one word to me. I'm like, bitch, you being a stereotype right now. We came together. You know what I'm saying?
All right, so that was "Farmer's Wave" by Day Peace.
Yes.
All right, man. Let's kind of roll into. We're gonna kind of hit it real for a little bit before we wrap up the show here. I don't know if you know much about me or the things that I've been through, but I represent mental health awareness very much so because not only did my best friend commit suicide, but my mother did as well. And I try to carry that message in everything that I do, in every aspect of life. I raise money for charity. I consistently talk about it, and I post in groups and stuff like that. And I don't know. I try to bring it up to the more of the attention of the town as well. So I'm curious to know what your look on it is. Your look from the outside on, or maybe from the inside out, of mental health, of dealing with the struggles, of feeling like you're not enough, feeling like the world's better without you. Like, what do you have to say to those people who have those type of feelings that they struggle with?
Yeah, no, that's definitely
it is,
question.
man. I'm going to give you the floor here. I'm going to go ahead and share this to one of my groups quick.
Yeah, no, go for it. For me, I think it's a combination of what works for you. For me specifically, especially kind of going through like what we've been going through as a nation these last couple of weeks, and more importantly, these last couple of months, I think it's important to surround yourself with people that you can have dialogue with. And that doesn't necessarily mean you have to talk about important issues or politics or, for this, against that. It's just, being able to talk to somebody. I think that's kind of one of the biggest things that we miss out on when dealing with mental health and kind of going through things, is not feeling like we have anybody to talk to, or feeling like, I'm married. I've been married for 3 years, and I've been with my wife on and off for like 12 years. And there'll be times in our marriage where like, I don't want to talk to you. They're like, I'm mad at you. And, you go in your room, I go in my room. And I know sometimes, no matter if you're in a marriage or, you have certain close bonds or relationships with people, you just feel like you can't share. And I think it's just important to be able to have those dialogues and kind of talk through things. We ended up going to counseling. I talk about that on the album. But I think sometimes, my 7-year-old is at a point now where he's like, he talks back, not to me because I'll punch him, but he talks back to his mom.
Yeah.
And some of our conversations, he gets really angry and frustrated, and he don't know what to say and how to say it. And I have to kind of walk him through using his words and trying to talk through things and trying to figure out the best way to say things. I bring all of that up is because what I found to be, especially in the COVID and being locked down and being with, your family or close ones, is you just need to be able to talk through things. So my strongest, I guess, recommendation is, find somebody to talk to, have dialogues, constantly, FaceTime them, see them in person, have coffee, whatever it is that would help you continue to be connected. I think one of the saddest things is, people feeling like nobody cares or wants them. And I think that's a lot of times not true. So if you can just continue to find people and surround yourselves with that, I think that definitely helps. For me specifically, it's about finding things that help me kind of stay positive and push through things. And as a comedian, sometimes I want to, see a Netflix special, or sometimes I want to, binge my favorite TV show. And it's doing the things that make you happy. And I feel like, especially sometimes we get way too busy with life, we cannot forget to take care of ourselves regardless. I think you can't take care of another person unless you are, better taken care of. So have dialogues, talk to people, and just do the things that make you happy as much as you possibly can.
And if you're talking to people, make sure you're reaching out to people who truly care. Let's be honest about that, because there's people who don't necessarily have the correct thing, best messages, you know what I mean? But they there's people who are better listeners and better then there's people who are better advice givers. But make sure you're choosing somebody who is a good listener, who is a good advice giver, somebody who's gonna pay attention to the things that you feel, you know what I mean? So I mean, I feel like that's a very big thing.
I agree, and try to be as honest as possible, regardless of the the circumstance or consequence. I feel like sometimes we have those conversations or that dialogue, and we're just not putting out everything. So there are times where we talk to our best friend, and we hang up the phone, and our best friend's like, "Oh, that person's fine," But realizing, hey, I didn't share everything. That person didn't get all the information, and these cry for helps didn't get out. So as much as you can, again, like I tell my 7-year-old, we got to talk through it. Try to be honest as much as you possibly can, and try to find those words that really sum up how you're feeling, what you're going through, so that people will hopefully take you serious and do a better
don't ever
job
feel
listening.
like you're too strong to feel emotions either.
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
Oh no! I was gonna say I'm a man. I don't cry, but I found myself teary-eyed and a lot in these last 2 weeks.
I've cried.
I think that's important. I think you gotta let it out. So yeah, absolutely. I think what you said is spot on.
What was I gonna get with that? Because that's the rut I always seem to find myself in when I was dealing with my mom's passing from taking her own life, and my friend afterwards. It was just I was questioning, am I enough? You know what I mean? People looked at me to be strong and strong-willed, and there was a point in my life there where I felt like if I were to have taken my own life, people would have been I kind of saw it coming, and I wanted to get away from that. You know what I mean? So I found out showing that you feel emotions makes people more related to you, shows that you're more human. And if that's the way I can reach out to people, I wear my emotions on my sleeve. There are certain things that, should I post on Facebook? No. There's certain weaknesses I shouldn't post. You know what I mean? And I'm there's some things I deleted earlier today that I'm kind of glad I did. But it's don't be afraid to show what you're feeling in certain ways. As long as it's not fucking up, I want to say, your whole reputation. You know what I mean? If I went somewhere and I started yelling and screaming and this and that and posting long paragraphs about how pissed off I am at certain people, it's going to ruin a reputation. You know what I mean? And that's my biggest thing. That's the biggest thing these days, in my opinion, is a reputation. And whether we like it or not, the reputation is how people perceive you. And I feel like people need to be, if you want to make a positive statement, you have to be perceived as a positive person.
I think that's a fascinating philosophy. I agree with a lot of it. My career and my platform is just completely different. I feel like it's important for one of the things when being a comedian and developing and, like I said, finding your voice, things I talked about earlier, is also finding your truth. And a lot of times that's the difference between, you know, what you talk about and how you talk about it. And again, in my early years, and not to talk about any other comic, but there's comics out there that just, you know, they like, you know, gangster rap, you know, like, oh, I shot 8 people. No, you didn't. You didn't sell drugs. Stop. You work at Walmart. You know, like whatever it is, people have this, you know, false, you know, perception that, hey, I have to have this facade. I have to have this. So there are comics that are like, I have to tell these jokes and I have to say these things happen to me because it'll make me more relatable. It'll make me funny or whatever it is. I think it's super important to find your truth and tell your truth. And that's not always popular and it's not always a great career choice. But one of the things that again, as a 35-year-old man, one of the things that I've learned or that I respect the most is, you know, integrity. And I think it's important to always maintain your integrity. I'd rather be, as a comedian, and I'm not funny to everybody. There's some people that, you know, I don't know, but maybe. There's probably like 1 or 2 people that bought the album and was like, this ain't shit. And then I've gotten a lot of great feedback. I've gotten a lot of great feedback and people have said really great things. But one of the things I feel like that matters the most to me is I'd much rather be, you know, disliked for being me than be loved for being someone else. And I feel like whenever you can, you know, say how you feel, be honest with yourself, find your truth, because other people that don't have that same voice or that same platform that can't, you know, share those things, you relate to them and you give them power. So if you can, definitely speak up and use your voice. I understand sometimes you can't always do it, but for me, I'd rather take the good and the bad with, you know, feeling like myself.
Let me be real. It's I try to watch how I present myself. Like, am I scared to call somebody out on certain things? Fuck no. Like that's always been me. That's always gonna be me. But I'm trying to grow wiser and smarter with my moves. You know what I mean? Like at first when everything started happening a couple weeks ago, I was going live every day. I was angry. I was, you seen some of the stuff, man. I was fucking pissed off. Like, you know what I mean? I was very outspoken, and I've deleted. Yeah,
like
yeah. Well, I work overnights, so you know what I mean. So, but it's like, you know, I deleted some of those videos because some of the stuff was unfiltered emotion. You know what I mean? And that's what some people want to see. They want to see that anger. They want to see that stuff. But I don't want to be that person who displays that. If that makes any sense, I want to be the person who has a calm mind, I state how I feel instead of I yell how I feel. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I think it's important for you to be you. Like, I know, especially during this time, I've had people like send me videos and send me like memes and whatever. They're like, you should post this, you should do this, you should do that. No, I'm gonna do what I want to do. So no, never feel pressure to be, you know, something else. Like if you don't feel that way, if you don't want to, no, you definitely got to do what works for you. So
trust me, I wanted to be angry at that time, but it was like after I watched those whole videos back after 3 days afterwards, and I was like, this ain't you, dude. I was like that. Like some of the opinions are you, but like it didn't take time to look into anything. Didn't take time to like feel like the emotions. You like truly, you know what I mean, thoroughly. But like I will say this: I will 100% always stand with Black Lives Matter, and no justice, no peace, and I will always represent people who don't have the platform to speak it. You know what I mean? Black Lives Matter to me. That may piss some people off, but you know what? Oh well.
Yeah, what I've learned a lot is it's all about interpretation. And when you say that, and when people hear that, and when they're bothered by that, it's because of their interpretation of it. It's the silliest thing when, you know, again, I'm saying like, hey, it's this. You know, I'm saying, hey, the sky is blue, and you're like, nah, it's kind of dark purple. And you're like, nah, bitch. Like, that's not at all. it's blue. Everybody can see it, but you're like, my interpretation of what you're saying is this. So again, if you can have those conversations with people, it's
honestly,
it's great,
I'd rather
times,
have somebody come up to me and be like, "Hey, I feel this way about Black Lives Matter," or I'd rather feel like this about all lives matter. If you come at me with an easier, approachable statement instead of just going on my post and being like, "All lives matter," and then that's it. Fuck you. I don't like that you're just trying to make an argument at that point. And
you're you're a better man than I am at this point. I think I think since again, not to talk about that because that takes me to another space, but I feel like if most people don't get it by now, they just don't want to.
Yeah.
So it's really wasted time and energy. And no, don't come with me. Don't come to me with that. I don't care if you said nicely. I don't care if you 5 years old. Mr. Day-Day, all lives matter. No, I'll kick you like a soccer ball. I feel like again, it's just your interpretation. People are they interpret it for what it is to them and what it means to them, and that's why they respond. The way that they do.
No,
Sorry.
I'm interviewing you, but yeah, man, fucking, it's just I want to be able to educate people. But it's like, as you said, if they don't get it by now, I don't know. There's either something built up in them or they're just ignorant.
Yeah, no arguments to me. But that's what I've learned the most. That's what I've seen the most is I don't care why you're doing something, why you're saying something. What it means to me is this, and this is the emotion that I'm gonna act on. So
all right.
Yeah. You ever been in a relationship?
Not me. It's you. That hit close to home.
Yeah. No. I know. Get these emotions out and start healing.
But anyway, we're gonna kind of start wrapping up the interview. We're gonna play the last track that you got sent to me. Track 9. Track 9.
This one is this is probably the most popular of the tracks as far as the singles and people that have heard the album. It's called Iowa is the Whitest Place on Earth. Self-explanatory.
All right. And honestly, I shared this to the Rant and Rave Northwest Iowa page. I don't know if you're part of that page or anything like that, but yeah.
Oh, geez.
So we're going to get a lot of interpretations on this one. We're going to stir the pot a little bit. So this is Iowa is the Whitest Place on Earth by Dave Peace.
Yes, sir.
All right, we're going to get this rolling.
Oh, yeah. No, that group is really ridiculous.
Yeah. One of my biggest failures is when I moved back, and one of my biggest lessons is when I moved back 2016, and I was honestly like depressed. I was like, how am I gonna make this work being in Iowa? Because Iowa is, in my opinion, the whitest place on earth. Like, this is like, Iowa's so white, I'm convinced that's where they make white people. This is like, I meet people all over the country like, dude, I'm from California, dude. I'm like, no, you're probably from Iowa. Like go home, look underneath your pinky toe, it's gonna say made in IA. I guarantee you. Like in my mind, there is like a small town in Iowa that has like a white people factory. And they are producing them by the thousands daily. It's like, shh. White guy steps out, long sleeves, cargo shorts, sandals with socks. Motherfucker look like he dressed to go on Survivor or something. I don't know why. I got a pocket knife. I don't know why all white guys have pocket knives out here. Shh. White girl steps out, blonde hair, blue eyes, breasts, you don't know if they're real or not. And in her hand, every one of them comes with a White Claw. And I don't know what it is. That drink is so goddamn ridiculous. It's ridiculous, y'all. Like if there was a Black Claw, it wouldn't even be like a hard seltzer or cider or any of that shit. It would just be Hennessy with 4 drops of barbecue sauce. That's all it would be.
3, 2, and we are back on with Day Peace, man. So before we wrap this up, man, I'm gonna give you time to say this is the last message. This is the last video you ever post. A meteor comes crashing in to your house and just gets you stone dead afterwards. After this, you have one message to give to the people. What is Day Peace's message to the world?
Don't use condoms. Okay, just never do it.
Oh goodness!
And, Jesus didn't. He didn't make condoms.
All of a sudden, pregnancy spikes 40% in America because of Day Peace. Thanks, dude.
Condoms is man-made. Y'all go out there, y'all have fun, but you gotta take care of your kids. You can't just populate and not take care of your kids.
Hey, for real.
But no, seriously, just love. I think love conquers everything in the universe. I think the problem is there's a such thing as fake and false love. I think we live in a time and genre where there's fake love and real hate, and so I think the best thing that you can do is, and I have kids and I bring them up and I talk about them, and I have boys, and it's all about legacy and leaving something for the next generation. So I think if you can instill love in your heart and in other people's hearts that you come encounter with, in fact, I think that's one of the greatest things ever. And again, I'm a comedian, so in my professional life and my personal life, I think it is imperative to laugh daily, laugh a lot, laugh hard. I think it's also great for mental health and everything like that. But love and laugh.
I don't get why most people don't understand that, dude. Oh, meteor, watch your boom, dude. That's gonna get the views through the roof. No, like I don't understand why people don't understand that love is the answer. I wish I could understand and get it, like why people think being angry is gonna solve more things. I won't get it. I'll never understand. Like having a hateful outlook on things is better and easier to some people, but me, once again, I'll never understand that, man. I've been there, but like the people who are like, I can never get out of this state of mind. Like it takes time, effort, practice, religiously. Yeah. You know what I mean? To make yourself think positive. My bad. I don't mean to be cutting you off, man.
No, I think you're. I mean, you're saying what I think a lot of people are saying as far as they're in a frustrating place of they don't get it too. What I think and what I see out there is, first of all, hate is a very strong motivation. So it's very easy to cling on to that than anything else. But what I feel like is the biggest miss opportunity is one, people haven't really experienced real love, like true love. Like, I don't, unconditional love is another conversation for another time, but like real love, I think is something that a lot of people don't get a chance to experience, or they don't get a chance to experience it for a long period of time. And more importantly, it's self-love. I think a lot of the anger that you see and the hatred that you see comes from within, because these people, these individuals, groups, whatever you want to say, they don't have that type of self-love to reciprocate and to give out. So that's what I see.
And with that, here comes the meteor. No.
Hey, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. It's been great talking to you and getting to know you a little bit more.
Hey, I just wanted to ask you quick before we go. Plugs, shout outs, anything you want to give. This is your time to say peace out to the people.
Oh, okay. First things first, I'm very excited to get back on stage next Friday. I'll be in West Des Moines. I have not been on stage since March 7th, since I recorded my album and DVD. So that's exciting. It's a Juneteenth show, and it's our 3rd anniversary. Very excited about that. Ultimately, if you want to support me or if you just want to laugh,
click that link that I pinned in the comments.
I strongly appreciate it. And like I said, the album is one of my favorite things that I've done. I think as a comedian, 9 years, just it all really led to this point. I say this a lot when I've been doing the circuits and been doing interviews. I don't consider it to be the funniest thing that I've ever said and recorded, but it's the most honest representation of myself in comedy, where I am right now in my career. You will laugh. You'll laugh a lot, but you'll learn something. I am very like naked on stage. Like I share and I talk about things that I really haven't talked about or shared before. And again, I got T-shirts and keychains and DVDs and stuff like that. So I think this is the time that we should all be trying to support people that we know, that we see, that we come in contact with, and not just kind of throw money at corporations and famous people who they got money already. So support your local artists, support your local comedians, people that you know and you see, so you can be a part of that journey now. So when they make it and they do great things, you can say, hey, I actually really was a part of that journey. So that's it. That's all I got.
All you got?
Killed it.
Man, well, I must say, I'm really happy for this interview. Like, it was great. I really got to. I think we hit on some good subjects. I got to know you a little bit, and I'd like to work with you in the future on some things, man. For real, like, somehow network, somehow connect. There's got to be some kind of connection we can do, bro. For real. I'll talk to the manager nice enough for like maybe doing some stuff with you, and I'd like to see like get you out for a show or something like that. You know what I mean? Have you warm up the crowd with some comedy. You know what I mean? Get you out there. You know, and I want to say it's all love coming from my side to you, bro. I fucking hella respect you. And everything you stand
for. I hope you have a better day.
I think.
But that's part about tomorrow is there's a tomorrow. So you hang.
Hey, stay in touch with me, bro. For real. All right. So before we go, I gotta tell you that when we hang up on the Skype, it freeze frames. So I don't want you being like, all right, Pete. Yeah, something like that. All right, so. Yeah, so I'm gonna get you a countdown from 5, and we're gonna so you're gonna give a 5-second pose that best describes. Is that it right there? All right.
Yeah.
All right, you take care, man. 5, 4, 3, 2. I'm just kidding, bro. Okay, here we go. All right. This dude is a riot. I absolutely loved this episode. It was kind of a stretch going for a comedian for an episode, but I think we hit on a lot of subjects, hit on a lot of points. Super cool dude. Like I enjoyed. Ooh, what's going on here? What's up with my focus? I enjoyed hanging out with Day. I'm definitely gonna probably hit him up a little bit after this and see what we can't get working. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. This is the second episode of the Going Full Circle podcast on the Nice Enough Entertainment page, only on the Nice Network. This coming Friday is my next interview that I got. It is with Origami. Know nothing about these guys, but Justin has told me a lot about them, that they're super dope. And yeah, I can't wait to I love doing these on the fly interviews and kind of just getting to know people right on the fly. But let's talk a little bit about what we talked about with Day. We got into a little bit of his background. He's from Detroit, started doing stand-up comedy in 2011, really took it serious, started taking it serious in 2013. He just released his first album not that long ago. He said he recorded it in March. I never really got the date dropped. If you want to check it out, go ahead and click that link in the comments. It's pinned right there. Dude, this guy was super cool. Like super funny, like legit funny. And anybody who's tuning in, I hope you're taking care of yourself. Stay positive, have a good peace of mind, and yeah, just always consistently show love and understanding to people. All right, this song that we're about to play out with is called Iceberg Lettuce by A-Hop. I will see you guys with Origami on Friday.
I got that ice. I got that iceberg lettuce. Iceberg lettuce. Got that ice. I got that green. I got that ice. I got that green. I got that ice. I got that green. Iceberg lettuce, motherfucker, if you know what I mean. Yeah. I throw bands on my ranch. Yeah. 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 What you know about it? What you know about it? Yeah. I throw bands like I throw ranch on my iceberg. Dirty, filthy country kid with a Mossberg. Also raised up in them fucking birds. Listen to my words as I swing right through. Yeah, this is my salad, also revenue. Dripped in sauce like who woulda knew what it do? Food chunk of dukes, middle finger sky high. Flash ice when I ride by. Super clean, you ain't know nothing about this green. Kiss some bacon bits if you know what I mean. I throw ice on the scene when I pull up. Fist full of double club, just dipped at the double clutch. Late night iceberg lettuce hella fucked up. Took a little strut to the bank. What do I think? Need more ice, gotta be top rank. So we can munch and smoke dank. Listen man, this is fucking dangerous. And I don't really think you wanna hang with us. Not with the green of the fucking lettuce that we bustin'. I'm in this and that's no discuss.
I got that iceberg lettuce. I've got that iceberg lettuce. I've got that ice. I've got that ice. I've got that iceberg lettuce. I got that iceberg lettuce. I got that iceberg lettuce like I got that iceberg lettuce with a band like this. It is never hypothetical. Yeah.
No hypothetical. Throwing on this green lettuce is straight shreddable. Impeccable, immaculate stature. Take a second to capture. Flip through that rapture. Hurry, hurry faster. You dumb silly bastards. Eat so much lettuce, I ain't never getting fatter. Let you talking about pockets, I'ma have to stack it up and make this private gold chain so insane. It's a fucking locket. Got your mind spinning like a fucking sprocket. Whoops, blew a master link. Shout out to Paul, man. What you think? At the campsite, take another drink while you sit there, ponder and think. That all that green, I'm that little machine. Ran out of lettuce, so I guess it's on the credit. Out of fucking credit, so I move on to checks. No moolah, I guess I gotta shred that shit.
I got that iceberg lettuce. I've got that iceberg lettuce. I've got that ice. I've got that ice. I've got that iceberg lettuce. I got that iceberg lettuce. I got that iceberg lettuce like I got that iceberg lettuce with a band like this. It is never hypothetical. Yeah.
Have a good night, everybody. Take care of yourself. Stay safe. And much love.